to respond to all the variety of things. I'm thoroughly convinced that multitasking is a myth. You're either doing, everything terrible or mediocre, or, one thing really well. So
Well, it's been scientifically supported, so you're good.
right. I figured the science out there is pretty strong. So, anyways, um, cool. And we're gonna let Ozzy in. Cool. We got a little party. I figured there'd be a handful of us at least, so that's great. Um, yeah, got Jackson in. That's cool. Okay. So, Jay, you said you found the sweet Nintendo Switch Lite deal for $50 in Brentwood, but this lady hasn't been answering me. Okay.
I'd be careful with Brentwood. Just saying.
Oh, I know about Brentwood.
Sounds like you do know. Okay, cool. I mean, Jason, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and just pull up your zip code first
Yeah, bro, that's
because
awesome.
I'll be honest, man, like searching zip codes is it Lindenhurst? Is that it?
Yep. Lindenhurst. Yeah.
Lindenhurst, got it. Should I
Yeah.
keep it tight? Should I keep it about 10 miles?
Yeah, you could do that. Maybe if we could do 15. I could do
We
15. Or
well,
is that
here's a
too?
funny thing. I'll do 20
Okay.
and you can tell me, dude, that's too far, shut up or something. But what I do love is when I get struck, when I get stuck and I can't put in the smaller miles on the desktop, like you can adjust it on your phone to whatever amount you want. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but that's a really nice hack that I figured out. Like, so if you like want to do 15, you just do it on your phone, and then it'll show up as 15 when you're on your desktop, and it's like a nice little way to
Wow,
get more
that's a
workaround.
game changer. I didn't know about that, and it always pissed me off.
Yeah, and I don't know why I didn't ever put that together, but I was like, and I'll show you guys here real fast, just because this is the console call where we talk about this stuff, right? So let's go over to Marketplace. Right. So if I pull up Marketplace here and I tap my location, then I've got this little bar right here where I can adjust the mileage to whatever I freaking want to. Like, and so it's great because when you're on, like, it just did 29 miles. If that's not obscure enough for you, I don't know. Like, maybe you should become a hacker and figure it out yourself. But, uh, but all that to say, like, that's just a nice little workaround because the desktop likes to keep it very stringent and you're like 10-mile increments. Like it's too formal, a little bit too German for me, yeah. So yeah, man. By the way, guys, and this is completely not related to reselling, but if you want to see a very fun comedy special, Trevor Noah dropped a new one on Netflix, and it's hilarious. So if you like good comedy and good laughs, then check it out because he talks about doing comedy around the world. He talks about Germany. It's hilarious. Cool. Well, guys, welcome to another Tuesday console call. I'm glad we could all be here, and I'm pumped to share a couple quick things. Going to try to keep today to somewhere between like maybe 30 to 40-ish minutes, but always happy to go ahead and source zip codes. If you do want to have your zip code sourced, looking for some deals, let's say that you're like most people where you're watching this, you're listening to me, but simultaneously you might have things happening on your own screen. You might be sourcing for your own deals. You might be managing some portion of your business or doing something else on the sly. That's totally fine because as a reseller, I understand that, so you have my respect. But if you want me to source your zip code, go ahead and drop it in the chat, and I'll be happy to do that while we're here on this call. As per usual, I like to use the front side of this call, maybe like 15, 10 to 15, maybe at most like 20 minutes, but I probably won't be that long on my long-winded today. So yeah, anyways, I use the front side of this call to talk about things that I feel like are relevant, pertinent, important, and necessary to, I think, each week bring value, but also to make you a better reseller. If what we're learning is a skill and skill stacking, I think is the thing, right? It's the skill that makes us money. Then each week I want to be able to kind of like add an extra layer to that delicious sandwich of success that we are building up each and every week. And so I hope you guys feel that. I feel like I do. And so I try to talk about stuff that's like, what would make me want to come to my call? No, don't talk about that. That's crappy. All right, let's talk about this, right? So today I want to talk about how to not crush it going into 2024. Because let's be real, if I said how to crush it going into 2024, I could talk about a lot of stuff, but I don't think that there's anything worth mentioning about what you should do until you know what you should not do. And I think sometimes people err on the side of focusing too much on, oh, let me just jump on here so Matt can like get me this bread, right? Or let me like find these deals. I'm all about teaching a man how to fish, not just giving people fish, even though that's a lot of what I do on these calls. But I kind of worked through my head what I think are, after 4.5 years in this game, what I think are like three just really critical things that if I were sitting across the table from my younger reseller self and said, yo, this is like this is definitely what you don't want to do. Okay, now we can talk about what you should do. So I want to talk about those things real quick. So, all right, first thing in number one, all right, how to not crush it in 2024. If you don't want to do really well with your resale business, then definitely don't know your numbers. Don't keep track of things. Just don't. Don't do that at all. Don't put information in your KPI. Don't do your due diligence with your spreadsheets. Don't get any help with accounting. Don't know what your cost of goods sold, COGS, for those of you that do accounting, COGS. Okay. And definitely don't ever look at your eBay statements. Just don't, right? So don't know your numbers. But if you do actually want this to be, I think, your most successful year as a reseller, then keep track of things. I'm not saying you have to be a bean counter. That's, slang for people that are into accounting. You don't have to be all of that. But hopefully you were able to catch the call this past Friday with Chris's accountant, who, Tessa is also my accountant. We use the same person. Okay. But once I knew that Chris also used the people, the same firm that David Kosciuszko used to learn, which was Chris's mentor, I was like, okay, they probably have an established way that they know how to rock with resellers. So I'm going to use those guys too. So his accountant is my accountant, and that's how it goes. And so I've got them in my back pocket helping me. And Chris, I have his KPI. In fact, I was just about to be entering in some numbers when I hopped on this call. So, for me, that wasn't something I used to do. It is something I do now because I realize if I want to suck at this, then just stop. Just don't do it. You know what? And you'll find yourself probably a year later stuck in the same place. Right. Number two, don't have rules in place to help you win. And let me be specific about this. I could say rules, and that could be really subjective, but by now, if you're on this call, you probably have you probably have some reselling experience, if not a lot of reselling experience, and you have some semblance of rhythm of life when it comes to your business that you're starting to follow. Those would kind of be like your rules or your way of life. I'll give you some examples. Chris Schroeder, although it says his name at the bottom of the screen, I'm not Chris Schroeder. But if I were, I would tell you that when I go to Starbucks and I close a deal, I immediately take photos of the item that I just purchased as soon as I'm done with that deal. That is a rule that is helping Chris to win very consistently. Okay. That is his rule. But that is also his rule that I think makes it really, really excellent for his business to run in a more healthy way. What's one of mine? So for me, I don't buy consoles unless typically that deal is going to make me 70+% ROI on a deal. That's how I teach my course. That's also how I've helped you to be successful, right? So if the deal is less than 70%, more oftentimes than not, that's not worth my time. It's not that it's not a good deal. You could find a deal for 60%. You could find a deal for 50%. I'm saying for me, I've got my skills so dialed that I know that the deals that are going to be most worth my time and the return are going to produce 70 to 100% ROI or return on investment for me. Okay. So that is a rule within my business, and that keeps my business really healthy. Okay. I talk about that a lot when I do my onboarding calls. Okay. Maybe one of you guys share one. What's one for you that has worked really well that you've already kind of established that you didn't realize was a rule, but it truly is? Like, what's something you do consistently that is helping you to win as like a rule or a way of life with your business?
I usually
I go ahead,
make
Jay.
I usually make my bed in the morning and go to the gym.
That's
That helps
great.
me win.
Shouts out to the military or Navy for helping you do that.
I was thinking the
Hell yeah.
same thing. Yeah. Because you
Yeah.
were, I think the one time I was on a call with you, Jay, you were in a military uniform. You are in the
Mm,
military, right?
I am in the military. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm active duty Navy CB.
cool.
There we go.
Yeah, for
Booyah.
me, I think I definitely do have some of those hidden rules. It's funny, I used to be happy just making any amount of profit, like 20, 40 bucks. I was just like, fuck yeah, like I did it. And I did do it and I was proud of myself. And I don't regret anything that I did. I learned a lot through mistakes and reach outs and just clawing through the mud and not having Resellerator like a lot of you guys just have access to, which is wonderful that we're all
Right.
here. But I learned the hard way, and now I'm at the point where I'm making no less. I'm not getting out off my ass for anything less than 50, but really, I try to aim for 100, and I don't like when it goes below 80.
Yep.
And the thing is, with me, I also think about how much effort it's going to take for me to flip. So I've actually
Yep.
stopped buying Nintendo Switch bundles just because there's so many things to part out. And I also don't play the ROI game. I play the game of like, if you think of like a unit of like effort as a unit.
Yep.
So for example, if it takes me, 5 to 15 minutes to drive to this place and I'm going to make $100, that's 1 unit of effort for me. So like I don't care if I'm buying like 10 iPhone 8s to get the $100 or whatever the hell the inventory is, it's 1 unit of effort for me personally to go and get those devices to make $100.
Yeah.
So that's the way I go about it.
Wow. I'm really glad you said that because I think you guys all have to think about this. And please, whatever you're doing right now, whether you're looking at your screen, please stop and hear me on this because I think this is a really important thing to hear. It doesn't matter what you're flipping, it all requires the same level of effort. If you want to sell an item for 10 bucks and it's some trash Nintendo Wii game, or whether you're going to resell something like an item I bought last night, a Lowrance fish finder, right? That I paid 200 bucks for that I'm going to resell for 550. It both requires the same level of effort. So what are you doing selling small trash level low dollar items when you know you could be reselling the same big stuff? That's why I've got to be savage about my numbers to make sure that I am paying myself the due respect that I need to make sure that I'm honoring my own time to do well or to do right by my business. So I'm really glad you mentioned that, Kevin, because it all comes out in the wash, right? Whether you're flipping a $10 item or $110 item or $1,000 item, you're going to probably spend about the same amount of time putting in effort to do that. And if you can move your way through those mental gymnastics, you will see that really numbers are just numbers. We've been culturally conditioned to think that if I put forth, I should only get this much if I put forth this kind of effort. And I'm going to call BS on that because this industry disproves that theory like by massive margins, like massively, right? You want to go out and make $600, you could probably search your zip code right now and find enough of that to flip it into the next few days and make yourself $600. You want to go out and make $60, that's fine. Okay. You could go get a job and go make $120 probably tomorrow, working maybe somewhere between 6 to 10 hours. Or you know what? You could find a really great deal. You can make $600 in a day flipping 2 to 3 things and be like, that's how I reward myself. You have to think about it. But in order to, I think, be to get yourself narrowed or corralled into that headspace, you have to think about, okay, is this worth my time and effort? And so to do that, you have to have these internal or these conversations with yourself, these rhetorical conversations where you're going, okay, like what am I doing with my time? How much am I trying to pay me? What is me worth? Right? I know what my skill is worth. I know that if somebody wants a one-on-one call with me, I'm not doing that one-on-one call unless they put $150 in my pocket right away. Why? Because I can literally hop on a call and I can make you that plus extra literally in 30 minutes to an hour. And you guys all know that because you've been on a call where I've done it, right? And I'm going to even do it on this call probably, right? But how long did it take me to understand that I had that skill set or capacity to take myself and others into that space, right? So it might mean that you're going to take a few steps back to have these conversations with yourself in follow up to these types of discussions before you can take a few more steps forward and really propel yourself into some, I think, next level thinking and focus to really take your business further moving into this new year. Okay. I say this because I'm a savage believer in people. Okay. Ozzy says, I try to get no less than $100 profit on items. So each iPhone, at least double your money on each device. $50 profit per iPhone, 8 iPhones, or $50 total profit for 8 times the work. Okay. I think I understand that all but the very last portion. Um, but yeah, I hear you. Let's see. Kevin said, you listen to Uberman Lab? Yeah, I have. I love him. He talks about ways
That's
to
a long
address the,
post.
yeah, force yourself to get up and get outside in the sunlight. Yeah, it's naturally wakes you up. Get movement, exercise first thing in the AM. Don't drink caffeine too late. Get the sun in the eyes during sunset as it goes down. Avoid artificial light past sunset, especially overhead light. Avoid screens 1 to 2 hours for bed. I'm not good with the screen thing. I realize that. I've got to do better on that. I'll tell you one thing I do that you guys can appreciate. I wake up in the morning. The first thing I do is I get in the shower. I turn it on. Okay. I stand in the hot water. And then after about 2 minutes, I literally sit on the basin of the shower on the floor and I kick the water over to cold and I make myself count to 180. And I sit there and I do cold water therapy for 3 minutes because it will boost your dopamine scientifically by about
Yep.
200 to 250%. And when I get out of that shower, I am ready to freaking rock and roll. I mean, I don't need coffee because my body just doped itself into getting energized. And then typically I find that if I do the workout in the morning, it's almost like drinking two cups of coffee because I'm ready to punch something in the face. And usually it's just the day's work. But for me, this really gets me amped. And it's taken me a while to find that rhythm of life that's good for me, but it's a rule I have in place that works really well. Okay, let's talk about. So, first one, don't know your numbers. That's a way to not crush it. Okay, don't have rules in place to help you. That's the second way to not crush it. Thirdly, is don't do things consistently. And I will tell everybody that um, real success is not sexy, it's boring. Like it's boring as F. Like it is just boring. Like real success looks like doing things so consistently that people like might think somehow you died or where did you go? Like what's that dude up to these days? Right? The stuff that really draws people in, like think about the internet, think about Facebook, think about YouTube, think about Instagram and the ads that like fall into your lap when you're just doing the doom scrolling as people call. Like think about how people are trying to sell you on the dream. Okay. It's easy to sell the dream, but most of the time the dream doesn't really look that sexy because real success is boring, right? Chris goes to meet people from ads at Starbucks at noon and 5 o'clock every day. And I would consider him probably to be one of the industry leaders, if not, one of the definitive one within the resale space. For me, I look for deals on Facebook or Facebook OfferUp and Craigslist breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So morning, afternoon, and evening, I look for deals online 5 to 10 minutes a day, 3 times a day. That's freaking boring. But guess what? The next time you need somebody to find a deal, I know I might be the guy that somebody's knocking on my door. Why? Because I do these things consistently and I'm just looking for good base hits. All right. Have you found your base hits yet? Because once you find a base hit, listen, the guys who are the pros who go to the show, Major League Baseball, right? If you can get on base statistically, like for starters, I heard someone once say trying to hit a Roger Clemens fastball, right? The Rocket, Roger Clemens, come on, man, Hall of Famer, was like trying to hit an aspirin. Okay. So the statistical likelihood that someone can hit a ball thrown by a major league pitcher is like really lame. And so I had a friend who played semi-pro baseball, and he had a baseball camp where he would literally say, the thing you're going to do for the next 3 weeks is you're going to take 1,000 swings a day. That is remarkably uninteresting and boring. But guess what? You take 1,000 swings a day, you're going to make people who take 100 swings a day look like they should be playing little league. So, what can you do consistently that can begin to like put you on game is the question. And if you're already developing this discipline or cultivating this ability to do things consistently, you are far ahead of the large majority that wants things handed to them, that would rather be sold the sexy dream than go out there and maybe put in a little bit of sweat equity for a while, where you're not always going to have to hustle and grind for this. Okay. But you will for a season, and then it gets easier. It doesn't mean, and hear me guys, it doesn't mean that this process gets any less difficult. It simply means that you just get better, right? Your skill becomes more acute. You develop hypertrophy, just like a guy who lifts consistently, right? Remember Goldberg from WWE? That dude had traps that would just like, you could see him from like 100 yards away because he had done deadlifts for so long. All right. I love deadlifts. They're great. There's good, like probably the singular, lift that's good for a, full body workout. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. So don't know your numbers, don't have rules in place to help you, and don't do things consistently. And if you are effective at those three things, you will certainly not do very well going into this new year. Okay. That's my piece. I'm going to go ahead and jump into your zip codes. And while I'm doing that, if you have any thoughts or would like to, make any comments on what I was just saying, feel free to contribute. Okay. Deadlifts are great, Jay. I'm with you. I had to go back and retrace all my numbers. It's not fun. You're right, Ozzy. It's not fun. But what it is it puts a level of organization in place in your business that allows you to do all the fun stuff more and better. Because once you have these things in place and you're willing to just put in the effort and due diligence, right? If you have the organization, what I found is, even though I don't like necessarily always being organized, it's not fun to me. It allows me to do more fun because it saves me time, energy, and focus. And focus is the real superpower, guys. That's the thing you got to remember. If you can focus more than the next guy, that's all you got to. I don't have to be better than everybody. All I've got to do is do this better than the next guy. And trust me, like, that's a relief to me. For me, I don't want to be perfect. I only want to be 90% perfect because I feel like 100% is a myth, right? So if I can get 90% of what I need like accomplished, that's probably going to get me there and absolutely like blast a hole in the majority, right? It's going to make me look like I'm the bomb dating. Okay. Um, so Kevin says organizational is so helpful. Doesn't come natural to me either, but I have my whole budget on there. I know what I can afford every month because everything gets tracked. Fantastic. Yeah. I'm with you, Jay. You are going to have to do that soon. Okay. So keep things up to date and utilize the systems that have already been put in place for you. The KPI is a system that Chris has already vetted. He's already done it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just got to get in the car and drive, man. That's easy. Okay. Just put in the key. All right. Turn the ignition over and press the gas. All right. And off you go. Okay, cool. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. I hope that was helpful. Okay, I feel like I've actually got myself, a little jazzed up here. First things first, let's look at this. Here's a MetaQuest 3. These are selling for about 450 to 500 bucks. So if I see one for $300, I'm gonna throw that in your wheelhouse, Jason. So let's freaking go. And obviously
That's not
talking about
that's not that far either. That's
fantastic.
that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Obviously, like talking about guys, like again, like skill sets, my eyes went straight to that deal. I automatically know my prices. I know that this is a deal that I need to alley oop to my boy Jason, and so we're going to put that right in his inbox.
I had
Jason,
it set
careful.
to
I'm going to tell my dad on Long Island to get these deals before you do.
Hilarious. All right, and we're going to offer. Let's throw 250 at our guy, but these are selling easily for like 450. So that's like a fat deal right there. That's awesome.
That's a triple.
It's listed. It was listed 4 weeks ago, so it may be gone, but even so, we're still gonna no risk, no reward. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Might have to look up a couple things. Let's see what other Oculus stuff is here. I'm finding some good Rift S stuff. I was in Salt Lake City, Utah, sourcing for Steven, who recently joined up about 2 weeks ago. Steven, hope you had a Merry Christmas, bro. I know you're on the call. And man, gosh, we found so many good deals in his city just for the Rift S. I don't know if any of those have sold for you yet, but I really hope they have. So here's a Quest 1 for 120. obviously we try to buy this for 60. Okay. So Quest. We got Abraham in on the call. Quest 1. ASCII 120. We're going to offer 50 to 60. I mean, if these didn't sell yet and they had hopes that they were going to sell during Christmas, well, sucks to be them. You know, like should have lowered your price maybe. There's a CV1. We don't stay away from that. They said that was the Rift, but they weren't specific in it. It's hard to tell. Let's go over here. Let's just type in Rift S. See what Long Island gives us where the bounty is. There's Massapequa.
Yeah,
Let's see.
you said that
Is that
right.
close? Is that close?
Yeah, I can go there. Yeah,
It's
that's not
mass, not moss. That's
Massapequa?
yeah, Massapequa.
Okay,
I
sorry.
thought you were asking if your pronunciation was close, but
No.
It's a Native American tribe.
Okay, cool. So my
Chief.
Spanish takes over when I see certain words because I took like 4 or 5 years of Spanish and I'm not fluent, but I could get around to Mexico or Spain with no issues whatsoever. Um, so anyways, when I see that word, it just, yeah. How much they want on that? 150. Okay. 150. And we're going to offer them, I'm going to say 70 to 75.
Bet.
Last Rift S I bought for $85, boys, and I'm not mad about that deal.
Okay.
I actually did go out and get a deal last night, believe it or not, y'all. My wife let me, which was, I mean, it says that she's a pretty kick-a chick right there. I mean, that's pretty legit if you ask me. Let's see what's going on in the chat here, guys. Not going to try to ignore that. All right, cool. Yeah, so Ozzy was talking about a printer, life-changing, $80 MetaQuest bundle. That's what the headsets are selling for? Yeah, Ozzy. Well, Rift S. Just barely getting to listing them. My daughter was born on Saturday. Picked up 6 sets though. Steven, congratulations on being a dad. Like that is amazing. There's finding deals is great, but being a dad far supersedes all the stuff on here. That makes you just doubly cool. And so yeah, congrats to you, bro. All right, sweet. Yeah, you'll have plenty of time to list stuff, but for now it's time for cuddles and dad life. So that's awesome. All right, let's see. I like that deal the best. Here's one in Seaford, 24 weeks ago. Dream on. Okay. Give me that zip one more time. Let's pull up something on OfferUp. I feel like we can find a few more Rift S's here, and I think if we can, then that'll be it. Okay. What was that zip? You're muted.
11757. My bad.
It's okay. Happens to me all the time. I'm like, gosh, Matt, you don't really use Zoom?
I was doing 30 miles, but I think 10 to 15 will probably be better, right?
Yeah,
Like because it's a dense area.
for sure.
Okay.
I'll send you this deal in Oceanside.
All right, cool.
Was it 150? Yeah, 28 days ago. Ooh, so gonna
Long
get
Island's
that.
weird too. You go over 20 miles and you start getting Connecticut options or
Oh,
results.
Right.
geez.
Yeah.
Right. At that point, you just keep driving because there's just one deal like parlayed into the next. New England is so dense. Be like, I started off on Long Island and now I'm in Rhode Island, so I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, the GPS brought me to this ferry. Now I'm now I'm in Boston.
Oh my gosh. That's the one city I haven't been to that I need to check out though.
It's nice. Should go. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I you should go to the Constitution if you go.
Okay. To Boston? In Boston?
Yeah, yeah, it's the old Ironsides. It's the like it's from the Revolutionary War.
Oh, okay.
The ship.
That's cool.
John Paul Jones was the captain of that ship.
Oh, sick.
And one of his famous sayings was I have not begun to fight yet, or
Yeah.
something. It's like I've not begun to fight, like because the British were saying, "Are you going to give up?" And John Paul Jones was like, "I haven't even started the fight yet. What are you talking about?" Kind of,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. That's very American. I'm to
Oh
say
yeah, I'm
that.
gonna get that tattooed on me one day.
That's pretty cool. Well, when you do, post a pic because pics or it didn't happen.
I
You know,
will. I will. I
unless it's on
actually.
like unless it's in like an area where it's like whoa, whoa, and then you can just tell us. Right,
I'm
left
not.
cheek, and you're like, bam, and it's like Jason's left cheek here on the. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I got cojones, but they're not that big.
I hear you, bro. Cool. Okay, there's like 5 Oculus deals, and plus that like first
Perfect.
one.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure like something in there is going to work out. All right. All right. So Ozzy, you say, oh, on that zip code, I'm going to find fire deals on Switches, Quest 2s, PS4s. Want to look for a PS5, PlayStation? Oh, yeah. I'm still on the lookout to see if I can find some PlayStation portables at Best Buy, but I haven't landed any yet. But as soon as I pick one up, I'll talk to you guys about my method and how to do that. Let's see. I think Kevin posted his zip. That's cool. We'll jump in there and then we'll get over to Jackson here to kind of wrap things up. And I'll just keep it to the 3 today.
You
Everybody
mean
else.
PlayStation Portable or Portal?
No, the new. All right. So like 3 weeks, 3.5, maybe as much as 4 weeks back, PlayStation released a new
Yeah,
handheld device.
the
Yeah.
Portal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was going to ask you about those.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're cool. I haven't seen any and I didn't expect to right from the jump. But I mean, inevitably they're gonna pop up, and we're gonna find some. Uh, oh, okay. So Ozzy, you have some buyers that are looking specifically for PS5s and Samsungs. Yeah, yeah, cool, man. Hopefully you or we can find some in your area. Kevin, I forget that you've moved on to Pittsburgh because we've got a couple folks up in Pittsburgh.
I know.
But I mean, it's like, well, Sean's running a shop, so he's not like gonna go probably more than 10 miles away. Let's be real.
Mm.
Like, he's got plenty to handle up in that shop, and so I expect that. There's you and him, and then there's like Philip, and Philip is 71. So
I noticed. Yeah. I'm not
yeah,
worried. I'm crushing it out here so far. It's been really good to me.
no, honestly, all 3 of you, even though you're in the roughly same place, like Philip's really happy flipping switches right now, and I think you've got your phones and extras, and
Yeah.
all of you guys are doing great because I've had calls with everybody, and so it's really cool. Um, okay, cool. Let's see. Just looking for any like quick low hanging fruit with the Oculus, like this right here. I don't know if like,
Yeah. So I'm very unfamiliar with the
oh
Rift
no, there
S's
it
and
is.
whatnot.
Okay,
Um, I'm interested in those. I'm not so
yeah,
much interested in the CB ones anymore. They're just the pain in the ass to part out and everything, and it
sure,
takes forever to sell.
right. But
Um,
this is the Quest One, which is basically like the Quest Two.
okay.
Bluetooth, wireless, same controllers as the Rift S. So these
Okay.
controllers are literally the same. Okay, no data cable. I'd buy this for $50. So I'm gonna
Cool.
shoot that over to you. Okay.
Yeah, I actually have a shelf that I started building with all my old electronics, and I still have
Okay.
my CB1 controllers and sensors and shit.
You're like, come on. Yeah, I hear you. I'm not buying the CV1 unless I can find it for $50 or less, personally. Just so you guys know,
Yeah.
those watching the recording, those listening on the call right now, that's where I am personally on those because it's not worth your time otherwise. Okay. And we're gonna offer 50. And I mean, even now, like I literally logged on to Facebook just before this call and looked at my area and I saw like a MetaQuest 3 for like not as cheap as the one we found in Jason's area, but it was literally like $50 more. And I was like, what already? That's unbelievable. So yeah, it's out
Yeah, I've
there.
seen a few.
Okay. You said you're not doing Switch bundles? Like, no.
If we find a good one that's worth my
Yeah.
time, maybe, but
Yeah.
yeah, normally
That's
not.
cool. Okay, cool. No worries. That's why for me, I say like I only do Switch bundles if I find like it's got to be a minimum of three premium games, or
Yeah,
like three controllers or some mishmash of those two things working for me to know, okay, this is going to be worth my time, and I'm not going to like just get lost, in the minutia of trying to get all of this stuff posted.
yeah.
Oh, there's an Xbox. What is it? $100. Let's look at this real fast. Oh, two controllers? Heck yeah. And a headset. All right, sweet. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping to find something like that. So I like that deal. Okay. Xbox One S plus two OEM controllers and the headset. And they're only asking 100. And I'm gonna say buy for 60 to 75. Should make that a really sweet deal.
Yeah.
Those two
Was it
controllers
like
also,
25 each
yeah. I
for
would
the
expect those
controllers?
two controllers to be at least like $30 a piece, at least.
Okay.
Because it's not the standard white or black basic one that
Mm,
comes with it, right? Carbon black, and then I think the other one's robot white.
yeah.
So those two right there have they're unique enough to be worth more. That's all I'll say. Okay. Let's go back to OfferUp in your area and just see if it gives us anything decent.
Yeah,
Just
they required verification for me for OfferUp. I think probably because I was trying to do like free ads and my account got flagged too
okay.
many times.
Yeah.
And I still haven't recovered that. So that's a whole niche that I haven't even been exploring.
Okay. Good to know. Let's go back here and let's just look for a valve index. You flipped a few of those, right?
Yep. Yeah, my max is like 450 on those right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's where I am as well. 700. Let's see how long it's been up a month ago. It's posted a month ago. I also have a PC that's capable of running it. Close the joystick. Do you want to reach out to this person or no?
I think they might. I've recognized the language. I feel like it's the same one as a marketplace listing that I've reached out to.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, sometimes it is. And usually when I see that, it also gives me an awareness that a person's all the more eager to try to sell something. And
Yeah,
so
there's West Mifflin right there, so it might be that one.
here's one in Trafford listed 18 weeks ago. Have you reached out to them?
18 weeks ago. I reached out to them weeks ago. I guess I could try. I'm pretty sure they were a no response.
Okay, probably already sold. But there's a Rift S. Tempting. Yeah, I'm gonna send you this deal because I mean they're asking $100 and that the cables have actually gone up. The cables were selling for like 70 to 90. Now they're selling for like 80 to like 110 for the cable. Okay.
So you treat this like a CV1 in the sense that you sell the headset and cable separate?
Or you could just sell the headset with the cable and just list it for 110 and get the headset out of your life because
Yeah, yeah.
you're gonna make 110. Let's say you make 110 headset and cable. You sell each of these controllers, you're gonna get probably 65 to 75 on them. So $70 each. I mean, it the
Sounds
math
good to
makes
me.
massive sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, very much worth it.
I'm all about getting rid of things as quickly as I can.
I feel that. Just call it 50 to 70. Yeah. I had one chick push back on me on a Rift S I was trying to buy like 2, 3 weeks ago. And she was like, it's $100. And if you don't want to pay $100, then someone will. And she sold it. I knew she would, but I only wanted to pay 70. So yeah. Yes, Ozzy, the cable is expensive and that's the gym, man. That's what we love. Okay. Let's maybe look for Let's just specifically look for a Rift S. There's that deal. I don't see anything else quite that low that I liked. Yeah, everybody else has these a little overpriced, in my opinion. Let's look at this. There's one for 150. It's got the, so anybody who sees these with a listing and doesn't know what these are ceiling mounts. These mount into the ceiling and they actually suspend from the ceiling to hold the cable in place so that when you're gaming, you don't like choke yourself out or trip up with a headset on and fall on your face and stupid crap like that. But Kiwi makes these, and so they're not worth a ton, but they add a little extra flair to a listing. And so if you come across stuff like this, it's always great to use these as maybe like some freebies that will sweeten the deal for a person. So it may not bring you more money, but it may make your listing look more attractive. And as opposed to just keeping this in your basement or wherever you're keeping all your gaming stuff that you resell, you could just put it in the photo to help stage your item, make it look better, draw in more viewers and watchers, and then sell your item faster. That's a lot of what I do with some of the extras I get that I really don't care about trying to make $5 or $10 off of this or that, right? These little knickknacks, these little extras that are aftermarket purchases, I'll just include them. Or sometimes I won't even mention that I have them. I'll just throw them in a box when somebody buys it. And when they open it up, they have a great customer experience because I just blessed them with more stuff than they purchased. And so I get really great reviews as a consequence of utilizing that hack.
I
So
started to think about that myself because I had a big deal the other day. A guy had a box of iPhones,
yeah.
and it turned out they were all iCloud locked, whatever. But I started going through my chargers, and I was like, how many iPhone chargers do I have? And it turned out I had like 5 or 6. And so I
Yeah.
have this scratched up 13 Pro Max that I want to move on eBay just so I can get a little more for it rather than the direct buyer and getting it, hitting me for C grade or something. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, okay, well, let me make this a little bit attractive and I'll just include a charger in there.
Yeah.
I haven't sold it yet, but it's that same mentality. It adds a little bit of value and traction.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I like to do that with my Joy Cons, like the
Yeah.
bump thing.
Yeah.
I like to just throw it in sometimes because I end up just having a bunch of them anyway. So
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. Here's a Series X. Asking 350. Posted 4 days ago.
Ooh, that's potential.
Yeah. So I think that's a good potential fifth deal to kind of throw at you. And if I could get that for 250, I'd probably buy it because they're still selling for about four. Probably maybe 450 on the high end and like 350 on the low. So that's why I say four.
Cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Asking 350. So offer 250. Boom. All right. Cool. Let's go over to Jackson. We're gonna scoot down to Austin, Texas. Let's see. Let me go back to the chat. Let's see. Oh, Abraham dropped his zip code too. I won't leave you hanging high and dry, Abraham. Hold on a sec. There it is. Cool. Let's get back over to Facebook Marketplace. Well, there we go. Cool. All right, let's pull this up. I hope Santa brought you guys some really cool stuff. You know, Christmas for these days is more about like really like managing a fun experience for my kids. Um, and also making sure I get something like super chill for my wife because I just want to. But like gone are the days where like feel like, oh yeah, I'm 42 and I got this awesome thing for Christmas. Like it just the magic of Christmas is about making it magical for the people in my life more so than um, how it kind of happens to you when you're a kid, which I don't mind because I guess leading my family, right? That's fine, but it's just different.
That's the point that I want to get at. I want to get a partner. That's what I want to do for this chapter of my life, get a partner, start a family, and Because I'm at that weird in between point where like I'm not getting gifts, Christmas is not coming to me, and I'm not giving it to anyone, so it's like not too fun.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I feel like it's interesting because in the season, if that's not happening, like the reciprocity, like the giving or the receiving in some capacity, like you feel that, and you can't really put your finger on why it may not feel quite as magical as like when you were younger, but it just doesn't, and yeah. So, well, I want that for you too, Kevin. That sounds like a great thing. Let's
It'll
see. Here's a
happen.
riff. Yeah, for sure. I mean, just to consider, like 3 to 4 months ago looks entirely different, in your story than the way it's shaped up now, which is like pretty incredible.
Seriously.
It's so cool. All right, Jackson, here goes Rift S, which you may have already mopped up all the ones in your city. Um, Guys, Jackson's just over here like total sleeper cell. You'd never know, but he's like, I'm sure he's killing it right now as we speak. And I'm just sending these deals so he can keep killing it. So here we go, Rift S, and asking what was that, 100? I think no, 150. 75. Okay, sweet. What else we got? Telling you, as long as I can keep flipping the Rift S, like I'm gonna do this like shamelessly. No, we don't want that one. That's a CV one. That's trash. There we go. There's one. 5 weeks ago. I feel like we looked at this deal when I sourced your area, but maybe it was a different one with like a latex orange or something, something. I'm gonna send this one to you, but I'm gonna find you some more deals, big dog. So Rift S asking, what was it, 120? 125. So offer 65 to 75. Jackson says, thank you. You're welcome, bro. I'll show you guys this real quick. I'm going to keep looking for deals for him, but on Messenger last night, I came across a deal like I just finished eating, and I don't know, I think everybody else had also settled down for a long winter's nap, but for whatever reason, when I stopped and paused, I saw this deal. I'll show you this one real fast, just because I think people have curiosity sometimes, like, hey, Matt, what are you flipping? What did you sell? If I can pull this up, I'll show you the details. So it was these are two fish finders that a guy had. Okay, these right here. You can see the description. All right, just to put these on your radar because I always feel like it's important to bring value, show you where the money is. Right, this guy had two Lowrance Elite TI2 9-inch fish finders. Okay, and he only wanted $200 a piece for each of them. So I didn't even negotiate. I just said, hey, I'll buy them because these are undervalued by about 250 bucks a piece. Okay. So I bought these for $200 a piece. I paid $400, and these are going to net me probably, I'll probably walk away with about $250 net on each one. So I'm going to roughly make my money back. I'll probably do about $1,000 gross on these, and that'll be really sick. So yeah, fish finders for the win. Yes, Ozzy, that is correct. Sorry, just reading your comment there. Cool. Let's go back to Austin and keep sourcing some deals. Okay, let's go over to OfferUp. OfferUp's got to give us something. Like Austin's got like, it's not a small town. And like everyone moves there. That's why they have signs that are like, don't move to Austin, because everyone moves there and like loves it. And they're like, this is gonna be my new city. And you're like, no. Keep Austin weird. That's another one. I almost moved to south of Austin once, about 10 years ago. As you said, list a while or white, list a whole pallet, whole. Yes, vowels are important. List a whole pallet of items for $100 total profit. Make 200 profit on 2 iPhones. Yeah, I got you, bro. Um, do you have a whole pallet of stuff, Ozzy?
I was just thinking about it to like list more stuff and like have more consistent inventory because like I kind of like this whole process of like listing items and shipping them out and stuff. But
Yeah.
like that could, bring in a little bit, it's not that hard. Because I see
Yeah.
Chris, like, he gets hauled from the pawn shop. Like, hell, he does all this stuff in his time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he lists all that stuff that's in the back of his truck. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He make a profit. I don't know what the margin is like on a whole pallet, but they do have manifests at the liquidation warehouses around me.
Yeah.
So like they tell you the retail value of the items of like what the whole pallet could sell for after you buy it, like at the price that they have.
Yeah.
They have like lawn equipment, like stuff for like you could sell it locally,
Yeah.
to like landscapers and stuff. They have
Yeah.
tools, Macy's, Amazon return pallets, furniture, electronics.
Yep. Yeah, I think tools are great, like seriously underrated flips. Um, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this brand. If you see it, hold on a second, I'll type it in. But Nipex tools, you see any of these sell for a really nice premium right here. Okay. So look for these in your area, right? I saw about 7 of these listed for like $60, and I was late swooping on it, but I could have sold. I mean, look, these pliers right here sold for $30. So think about it. Multiply that times 5 or 6. That'd be a great flip to buy those for $60. So that's why I was interested in them. But I mean, these these 3 right here sold for $150, and that's on an auction. Those are some good tools. Okay, so it just remember there's riches in the niches. So if you know that niche and learn it, it's just like learning a foreign language. You can't once you hear like hola, ¿cómo estás? You know what that means. Like it's hard to unlearn. So yeah, do your due diligence and figure out what different items are worth in different niches. I don't have transportation, so pickup only. I always like deals like this. HTC Vive one set. Yeah, it looks like they're bored with it. It's just been sitting there collecting dust. I'd probably try to buy this for $100. Someone send it over to him. Jackson 4. Okay.
Hey, Matt, I got a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever been accused of being a scammer?
Some of my students, I used to teach them this skill. I would spend one day each year, and I'd be like, "Hey guys, I flip stuff. You ever need some side cash?" Because I taught a bunch of sophomore boys. They were just learning to drive, and I was like, "Yo, let me show you a skill. It's pretty cool." And I'd show them how to flip, and just like I just use one class period to do that every year. And some of them would take me up on it and start flipping stuff. And one of them tried to sell me his PlayStation. And I was like, "This is how much I offer." After I told him how much it was worth, I told him how much I'd pay it for. He's like, "Dude, you're a scammer." Freaking scammer. I was like,
The,
"Shut up, bro. Whatever."
the Oculus Rift S called me scam. She said, "No, you're scamming. Go away, scam. I don't ship. I don't give phone numbers. I don't, like I don't know
What
what
do
to
you
say
did you
to that.
say anything to make him say those things?
I do the three ping method.
So
That's
just
weird.
normal language, like you didn't
Yeah.
say I want your phone number or I want it shipped to Nigeria or anything.
No, hi, good evening. I found your Oculus Rift S on Marketplace and I'd like to buy it. I'm assuming it's still for sale. She
Hmm,
answered,
No.
"Scam."
interesting.
Tell him you're a Nigerian prince and you want to send him a check. And if he'll send it to you,
Don't tell me that. I'll actually do it.
no, I mean in all seriousness, I just keep following up till the person caves or like blocks you, right?
Okay. I just said to her, "I assure you I'm not a scam. I won't ask you for your number or anything or code or anything." And then I said, "I'm assuming it's still for sale." So I'll just wait.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
message her tomorrow.
Dude, that's how I hit up everybody. Like, and
Yeah.
I get pushback like never. I'm pretty sure we came across that deal already. That was 6 months old. And if we sourced any of these, we probably found that in your area when we were looking previously. Let's look at this real fast. Is this super old? 9 months ago. No thanks. Let's go over here. I don't know if you guys are flipping the Vive, but the Vive base stations still sell so fast. Like, it's great. I bought one of these probably a few weeks back, and oh, there we go. There's one 2 weeks ago. barely used. Throw that at Jackson, and then we're going to jump into Abraham's zip code, okay, and find some more deals. All right, HTC Vive. And I think Jackson's off the call now anyways, because he probably already landed a deal and he's off to go get it. He's kind of like that.
You selling
Ask
those as a pair, the base stations?
Yeah, sell them as a pair for 150, super fast. 150 to 160 is what they've been selling for me. Okay,
Beautiful.
$100. Holy cow. Asking 100.
Yeah,
Let's
I just bought a whole
offer.
set for $100 the other day. I haven't listed it yet, so it's good to know.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, sell the controllers together. You'll get about 80-ish for those. I would sell the headset with the data cable and the link box all together as like probably in the range of like I'd say start at about 130 and just drop it down aggressively by like $3 to $5 a day. And it should sell before you get to $90. I would be shocked if it didn't.
Oh, sounds
So yeah,
good.
yeah, I think that's the way to move that product. All right. See you, Jackson. Go make some money, man. Appreciate you, brother. All right, cool. Abraham looks cool. We're gonna go down to Matamoros. Okay. South, 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 south Texas. Like so south. Like you should probably learn Spanish. And Abraham does know Spanish, which is great. Cool. Let me get your zip code, brother. Where to go? There we go. Cool. There we are. Specifically Brownsville, Texas. Cool. Let's beef this up to 40 miles just cause it's not a super big area. And there we go. And we'll zoom out just a touch on Craigslist. There we go.
We can get going. I got to list some shit and need some dinner. I'll see you guys. Take care.
All right, Kevin, do your thing. See you, brother.
Peace, Kevin.
Yo.
Hey, I'm trying to list stuff on Swappa. Like you have experience with like listing stuff on Swappa.
Not a ton, honestly. Like I always chose eBay or Mercari. I think I did have a phone that I listed on Swappa once, but it sold on eBay before it sold on Swappa. So after that, I just stuck with eBay. But yeah, there's a little learning
Oh,
curve.
yeah, because I have a couple things on there. Three things just sold and I sent them out today at the post office. So I've been sleeping on Swappa because I needed to create a PayPal account. So like this stuff was rolling. So
Bro, this is legit.
yeah. I just have a couple where it says I need additional info, but it won't tell me what info I need.
Huh. Do they have like a contact or support you can hit up?
Said that there are comments on it from the staff, but I don't see what I need to fix because I have the
Okay.
numbers in all the photos,
Uh-huh.
and I mean I have a lot of different angles.
Yeah. Here's a Quest 2 for 160 in San Benito. This would be worth it at maybe like a hundo, but I wouldn't buy it for any more. So I'm gonna send this one over to you, Abraham. Yeah, I'm not sure, Ozzy, but I mean anything that size should have like ample customer support, right? To resolve any questions you might have. To be honest, like half the time I don't even like even if I pay for a course, sometimes I just go to YouTube and start looking up stuff to find out answers to questions for myself. Um,
Do the quests sell on Swappa? Like, could you get a bundle and make $100 profit on the bundle? Because I
I know
just been
that,
trying to see.
yeah, I think the three things that sell best on Swappa are phones, cameras, and iPads. That's everything I've heard Chris say for the last several years.
You say what was that? Sorry.
Phones, cameras, and iPads. And the
Oh,
fees, I mean, if I did flip phones, I would probably list on eBay and Swappa more consistently. Like I haven't sold a phone in quite a while, but yeah, I know the fee structure is better. It's more generous in terms of how much it puts in the pocket of the seller than eBay does. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't blame you for using Swappa. Darn, sorry she blocked you, Jay. So Steven said, is it better to list in quantities or create a separate listing for each? So Steven, what you want to do is if you have items that are, they all kind of have their they all pretty look similar, then just make one listing and then post multiples for that listing. And so just bump the quantity up. So let's say you have a Rift S controller, a left or a right, create one listing, right? Take good photos, um, and pick a controller. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be the nicest one. Like I usually try to pick one that looks kind of mid, like it might have a scratch or two on it, but then I can use that one listing to sell all of them, right? And I just bump up the quantity. And it just so happens that one of those people is probably going to get one that looks more flawless than the others. But one thing I learned, if you pick the one that looks the absolute best and most pristine, and somebody gets something that doesn't look exactly like that picture, you could get a return versus like posting something that looks okay, and then the person gets something that looks like pristine and flawless, and they're like, "Oh, thank you so much," right? So better to do it that way than the other way around. So hopefully that's helpful. Okay. Let's go over to Facebook and let's go back to Marketplace, see what we got. All right, here we are. Let's see, there's a PSVR, lots of wires and crap. It's a big old bundle of stuff. A Steam Deck for 450, some Pokemon stuff. Let's see if I have anything over here in the Oculus realm. Oh, there's a, nope, that's in Tulsa. Sorry, it's back in my zip code, my bad. Darn it. Brownsville, Texas. There we go. All right. And we're back. It's frustrating.
used a fair condition 128 gigabyte Oculus Quest bundle, like with the controllers, like it's
Uh-huh.
going for $201 on Swappa. So it's fair condition.
Not bad.
I mean,
Hey, here's a Rift S for you, Abraham. Go ahead,
okay.
Ozzy. You're good. There's a deal for Abraham. What else we got? Wish we had more like Switch. A few more Switch items. Let's look over here.
I mean, when you meet up with people, like they ask, like mostly people ask, like, hey, you sell stuff too, right? So you get business. Like you could sell a Switch V1 for $225 as the bundle, buy it for $100, make $125 profit.
For
I
sure. Yeah.
mean, PS5, I got people saying they need a PS5. I got one
Really?
person who wants a Galaxy Watch. I'm going to use my reach out method to get a Galaxy Watch, and he's going to buy it. Like you can sell stuff locally, like at the prices, like at the pawn shop. We'll sell it on eBay for $150, and eBay will take out tax. I mean, same thing at the pawn shop. But anyway, people are still going to buy that for $150 cash,
Yeah.
regardless.
I think it's funny. People are like, yo, I need a PS5. Like it is essential for my survival. But people do love their gaming, you know what I mean? For some people, it's just like a phone. And I think some people use their console much like people might use Roku or Amazon Fire Stick. You know, they view all of their media, a lot of it through their console. You know, they watch Netflix and Prime and all that stuff.
What about when people say like, "I'll keep my account on the Nintendo," so that if somebody else gets it, they'll be able to play it? Like, is that safe? Because I just was like, thinking of people's data, but like, if people are willing to give up their Nintendo accounts, like, you could
Dude,
ask for more money, right?
yeah, if people leave their account, especially if it has games on it, I don't delete that account because I put something in the description that's along the lines of like, um, this console comes with a previous account, uh, because it already has digital downloads, then I have left those on there so that you can enjoy them along with your purchase. So I say something along those lines to let people know there's preloaded games, and I want you to enjoy this pre-existing game. So I don't delete the account for that reason. But I mean, with a
You
lot of
could,
people, when I'm negotiating a deal on something, they're like, "Oh yeah, well, I already got the account's already got games on it, so I'll just leave them on there, and you can just play them." All right, cool,
yeah.
thanks.
That's a
Someone's gonna
good
play.
sorry,
No, you're good.
but it's like a good negotiating chip. Putting asking for a little bit higher because it has
Yep.
an account with games already on it.
Yeah, I think so. I
A
think so for
bargaining
sure.
chip.
Yeah. Let's look at this Xbox real fast. I've got so much stuff I need to get listed. It's crazy. Let's see, the 2 TB, 1 TB external hard drive, or best offer. Okay, cool. Let's just throw them an offer. See if they'll take. Since it says or best offer, I'm going to shoot this deal to you, Abraham. Okay. Xbox One S asking, we don't know how much, but we're going to offer 75. Comes with a controller and an extra 1 TB external hard drive. So technically it's a 2 TB. This right here should be worth about 50 to 75 bucks. This right here about 25 bucks. So all told here, I see about $200. But I'd say minimum like 165, 170. So that's why I say like come in and offer about 75. You should be able to net at least double your money on that deal. Okay. Let's go back. And let's see, there's one other deal. Where was it? Is this guy? A 1X for 160 listed 12 weeks ago. 160 is about what this sells for, but if we could get it for like 80 to 90, that might be worth our while. So I'm going to send that deal over to you.
I
Okay.
notice when you tell people like, if you're ever in the market, if you're looking for stuff too, I sell this stuff. So like that helps me get more people that will come locally and buy the stuff from me. And you'll get like, the full price tax free.
Say that again.
So like if I'm meeting up with a customer, like
Uh-huh.
usually I'll say that I also sell this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like game consoles and iPhones, iPads, MacBooks, Samsung game consoles, virtual reality headsets. Like I
Yeah.
also sell this stuff. So if you're ever looking for anything or know anybody who needs anything, like I have it. So just come and see what I got. And I have
Yeah.
people that will say, "Hey, yeah, I am in the market for this. I am looking for this. I do know
Yeah.
somebody that needs this." So selling a bundle an Oculus Quest bundle and swap it for $200, they're going to take out taxes and report it to the IRS. But if you sell it for $200 locally,
Right.
cash,
Yep.
then the taxes and the fees aren't taken out.
Yeah.
And the people, they understand how the business works and stuff, but are really people really gonna go into all the math and taxes with you in the negotiation?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I'm trying to flip some stuff for a friend right now. His grandpa passed away and they had an estate sale. And now he's got a whole house full of stuff that I'm trying to help him consign. So I get 50% on everything that I sell. So I'm not going to be doing any sourcing for a few weeks unless I find really good deals like those fish finders. But guys, all right, appreciate you. Ozzy, did you want me to source your zip code? If so, I can do that after this call.
No, you're good.
All right, cool, bro. Well, guys, I'll catch you the day after the new year. All right. Think the world of all of you. Have an incredible uh week, a great new year. And Steven just got a sale. Steven, you're the man. Let's go. Post it in the wins channel if you will. And dude, let's keep rocking it. All right. You guys be well. And is it Hooyah? Is that right?
Hoorah.
Hoorah. That's Navy.
Hoorah. That's
Hoorah.
CB's.
Seabees. Okay. Hoorah. Okay.
Hoorah.
right.
Later,
Later.
guys. See ya.